In October of 1887, Robert Louis Stevenson, the Scottish author of Treasure Island, Kidnapped, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, arrived in Saranac Lake in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York. He'd written those books, and many more, from his sickbed. Suffering lifelong pulmonary illness, he came hoping to recover his health in the mountain air. Though sickly, he'd accumulated several lifetimes' worth of experience. He kayaked through France and Belgium, backpacked 140 miles across a French mountain range, got arrested as a suspected German spy, inadvertently started a forest fire in California, tried deep-sea diving, and crossed the globe to propose to a married woman, to name only a few. But when Stevenson settled in a quiet cottage near the Canadian border, his greatest adventures were still ahead of him. My name's Trenton Olson. I'm a literature professor, editor of the Complete Personal Essays of Robert Louis Stevenson, and president of the Stevenson Society of America. Established in 1915, the nonprofit Stevenson Society owns and operates the Robert Louis Stevenson Cottage Museum in Saranac Lake, New York. As we celebrate Stevenson's 175th birthday on November 13, 2025, we're working to preserve his New York State home, a cultural treasure now at risk of ruin. Stevenson called the cottage a first-rate place, and his 6-month stay was personally and professionally transformative. A few months earlier, he'd been too sick to attend his father's funeral. Now he walked along the river, snowshoed in the woods, and ice skated on a nearby pond. He got frostbite on his ears, but felt stingingly alive. At the cottage, he worked on new novels and wrote some of his best essays, earning more than he ever had. He also planned his grand adventure, the Pacific voyage that led him to Samoa for the last years of his life. In one of his final letters from the cottage, the Treasure Island author called the journey an old dream too good to be true, and signed off exuberantly, Robert Louis Stevenson, Pirate Captain. 20 years after the author's death, national luminaries formed the Stevenson Society of America and opened the cottage as a museum, the world's first site dedicated to Stevenson. The author's family and friends donated most of its extraordinary collection of artifacts, from his infant cap to the last pen he ever used. They set out to perpetuate the author's legacy, preserve his former home, and spread his brave philosophy of living. Stevenson's adventurous spirit, despite debilitating illness, was an inspiration for many. World War I soldiers, tuberculosis patients, and readers everywhere found in his work hope to live and courage to die. Despite its rich history and holdings, the museum has had virtually no money since the Great Depression. It's been preserved by a single family of volunteer caretakers for 3 generations in more than 70 years. Our new board is working to revitalize the all-volunteer museum and secure its future. A failing roof and leaking boiler threatened catastrophic damage. We replaced both through private donations. We've also secured state, regional, and federal grants to begin repairs, but only raised a fraction of the $2 million needed for a full building restoration. So, to celebrate Stevenson's 175th birthday and save his former home, we invite you to raise a glass and give a gift. Share this video and make your tax-deductible donation today. Feel free to record a toast and share your favorite Stevenson quote or story. Help us restore this hidden treasure, one of the great literary sites in America. The cottage is in bad shape, but Stevenson was too when he arrived. His time in the Adirondacks rejuvenated him. He paced the cottage floor and veranda excitedly, dreaming up new stories and possibilities. Planning his great Pacific voyage, Stevenson wrote to a friend, "If I cannot get my health back, more or less 'tis madness. But of course there is hope, and I will play big." With high hopes and with your support, we too will play big. As we restore Stevenson's home, realize its tremendous potential, and perpetuate his remarkable story. So here's to Robert Louis Stevenson, a great artist in letters and in life. Cheers.